Hello, good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how to make a person with suffering from dementia eat if they are refusing to eat, or if they are walking a lot and they can't sit down to eat, or if they what we can give them to compensate the the meals, the missed meals in with the families. So there are so many. That is also one major problems. In the first stage, it's okay, but usually when they started, especially when they are anxious, they cannot sit quiet to sit down and eat. So what we can do, what we can give them, and especially patients, person with dementia and who walks a lot, they spend lots and lots of energy, so they have to eat more. They walks a lot, they do it, it's like physical exercise. They walks a lot. They can walk the whole day. There are some, I still have some patients walking the whole day, even at night. Sometimes they wakes up at 3 a.m. because they wanted to go to toilet. After that, they comes out, they gets lost, and they walks, and that's their manifestations of, that's the way they keep themselves busy, we can say. They can't sit down. Their mind is anxious. They want to be they want to keep themselves busy. That's why they keep on walking, even for the meal, even for the food. They don't sit down. So for in that case, what we can do, what we usually do, is that we give them, we call it finger food. Finger food can be, in our place, that can be a rice, that sticky rice, or that's the rice a little bit cooked with more water, and you can squeeze them together with some salt or some kind of flavors. Then you can give it to them. Or even the meat, you cook it well, because they don't mash it, they don't break it down properly, and they try to swallow it, and it's very dangerous for them, because they keeps on walking, and at the same time they try to eat. Their mouth, they put everything in their mouth, and their mouth is full like that. So if they just move like that, it can go to their windpipe. It can be suffocating. It can, we call it aspiration. It can go to their lungs, and so I have seen some few people died because of that, because it went to the windpipe, and it went, my some of the people who are not professionals, professionals, they were with them. They didn't know what to do, but by the time, your brains need just 4 minutes. If it's 4 minutes gone, the brain, it's already dead, or even less than that. If you cannot breathe anymore, it can have a very disastrous consequences to your brain and to your body if you stop breathing even for 2 minutes. So what we do is, you give small amounts that can be broken easily, and that can be swallowed easily. So you can give them, or you can give some potatoes, fried ones, potatoes a bit hard, so that they can take it in their hand and eat it like that. Or sometimes they don't want to eat salty thing, so most of the time their taste buds, it gets degraded, so they don't have the sense of they don't want to eat salty foods. So we have so many patients like that. They prefer sugary, sweet foods than the salty foods. So what you can do is, you put some sugar in the rice, and give them, you just roll it like that and give it to them in their hand. So when they're walking, wandering, they can continue eating. Or if they can eat them, of course you have to give them. So you don't need to give them a big quantity at the same time. You can give them little by little the whole day. It's okay. Even the bread, the bread, you get it, you just put the jam in it, or the butter, or even some cheese, if you have. I don't know if you have it, but you can give them, so they eat it. It's easier. Bread is very easy to eat. So, or you can also give some kind of fruits, cut mangoes, some kind of soft fruits, mangoes, peach, cut it, then you give it to them. And those people with dementia, sometimes it's difficult for them to identify objects. That's called agnosia. So they don't, nosy we call it. So they can't identify the object. So if they find that the object is round and red, they think that it's something to eat. So they can take some kind of polystyrene, balls, or some, papers. If it's beautiful colors, they think that it's something to eat. So they can, if they're hungry, they take that one and they can eat that also. So be careful with that. We have we had that kind of cases. Like we had during Christmas, we were decorating the Christmas with those kind of, you know, Christmas balls, bulbs, you know, and they thought that it's something to eat, so they came and they ate, you know. So we have to be very careful. Of course, we cannot be with them 100% with them, but maybe if they're in that state, if they cannot recognize some objects already, then they are already at risk of taking everything and eating. Sometimes what they do is it's a bit funny, but they eat their own poo. So they go to toilet, they do toilet in the, you know, in the common room, and they think that it's something to eat, so they can eat that one too. So that's why you have to be very careful with them. Keep an eye on them, especially make sure that they're not hungry. They eat those things when they're hungry, so they take whatever they see and they put it in their mouth. So be careful with that. And you can give if they don't want to eat anything, if they don't want to eat anything, try in a plate, you know, in a plate, white plate with some colorful food, like you know, you can put some coloring, some kind of cake or something, beautiful colors like pink or green together or yellow together. Now you can get some coloring food coloring liquids or powder. You can add with the rice, or like make it beautiful, and it attracts them. Or maybe you can put some sugar, you know, instead of salt, you can put some sugar in a rice, or some kind of potatoes. You can put some little bit of sugar, so it's a bit tasty. Or if they don't want to eat all those things, make sure that they went to toilet. Sometimes, you know, they don't want to eat because they didn't go to toilet for 4-5 days, 5-6 days. So be careful with that. They usually have constipation. So when they don't go to toilets for 2 days, 3 days, they don't want to eat, they are not hungry anymore. Of course, anxiety also can create that, but anxiety, you just, like I have said in my previous video, you just sit with them, stay with them, hold their hand, respiration slow, then you give them something in your hand to eat. Talk to them and let them eat something sweet. Sweet is better. They prefer sweets than salty food, especially when they are not hungry. It's a phase, you know, sometimes it comes back, they're hungry, sometimes they eat everything, and there will be a day where they won't eat anything. So I'm talking about the phase where they won't be eating anything. You can give that, because if you don't compensate that, since they walk a lot, if they are so active that they can fall sick, they can fall down, they can lose their energy, they can lose their, you know, calories very fast, and that's how they lose their muscles, you know, and they can't walk, and their health gets fragile. So give them not the whole big meal, but little by little the whole day. That's how we do here. And sometimes if they don't want to eat anything, give them some sweets, give them the yogurt, you know, yogurt, you put it sugar, lots of sugar. Sometimes they eat that. And yogurt, why we give yogurt is yogurt has got lots of proteins. It helps to maintain the muscular mass, you know, gives them energy, and it hydrates them too. And don't forget to give them drinks, you know, fruit juice or water. They prefer at that stage, you know, they don't want to drink water anymore because it's too neutral. They want something that is sweet, so you can give them fruit juice, you know, at that stage. If they are not diabetics, you don't need to be afraid of them having diabetes. Having their energy, able to stay with you, live with you, is more important than, you know, giving them regime, you know, dieting and all. Sometimes it's just crazy to think that they have to do dieting. I had some, you know, wait, my cat is just so I'm not criticizing anyone, but I had some colleagues who think that even the people who are 98 years old, 100 years old, they have to do dietings. My cat, she's just jumping everywhere, so that's why the camera is moving. So they think that even at the age of 98 years old, 90 years, they have to do dieting, so they don't want to give them sugar. You know, what is left in their life? You and the pleasure of eating. They cannot go out, they cannot go and travel, they cannot go and buy themselves something that pleases them, they cannot go to do something they loved doing. So the only pleasure that they have is eating. eating and staying with you. That is some of the little pleasure that they have. So let them eat sugar. It's okay. Let them eat sugar, even if they are diabetes. What we do is we don't limit them. We don't prevent them from eating sugar. Of course, we don't give them extra sugars, but we give them something like juice or cake. We give them the dessert, sugar sweet dessert, like that. So we do like that. So why why preventing them to eat something they want? How many months do they still have? How many years do they still have to live with you? Just let them have pleasure. Let them have that pleasure in their life. So give them something that pleases them. It's sugar. It helps to calm down, like I have said in my previous video. Sugar, sweet things, even chocolate helps to calm down the anxiety. You'll see when they are in a peak anxious state, you give them something sweet, the smiles. Oh, they will say, oh, it's good. So the smiles comes. So it's a sweet effect, sugar effect in our brain. Why are we so addicted to sugars? We love eating something sugar sweets, fruits, like pineapples, mangoes. We love that because sugar is something that makes us feel good. So it's the same impact on the people with suffering from dementia. So don't hesitate to give them those sugary sweet foods. It's okay. Let them enjoy. Let them have a good time, so that at least the time that at least they can walk. At least they are physically they are in good health. I can say, at least they are with you, and you will be more. If they are less anxious, if they are in good health, I mean they are not hungry or their stomach is full and they went to toilet, they should be very calm. That reduces your workload, especially for the families. So try to do that for people who are not eating well, who doesn't want to sit down and eat, or who are not hungry. So try different methods. Sometimes one or the other will work. Sometimes if they are not eating at all, if they're just refusing to eat, they might be suffering. Take them temperature or take them to hospital. They might be having some infections. So it can be other cause. It might not be because of the anxiety or constipations, but it might be other cause. So you can take them to hospital, take the temperature. Especially you should always have thermometers, in your home, to make sure that when they are, you can see by yourself. When you touch, you make it, you feel the hot with your backside of your hand. You just touch like that, they feel hot. So sometimes it can be because of that. But we also had some many cases where they want to, deep down, even if they don't remember anything deep down, their emotional memories tells them that they don't want to live anymore. So we call it, in French we call it syndrome de glissement. It's a glissement syndrome, we call it. So that means they just let themselves die. We have those kind of syndrome already. So many, especially it's usually for the people, it usually frequent in the people who are having Parkinson's, because they still have they have more cognitive functions than the people who are suffering from Alzheimer. So they let themselves go away. They don't eat, they refuse to eat, they refuse to drink. And at first, we are not sure, but sometimes they will say, I want to die, I don't want to live anymore. So sometimes it's their choice. We respect their choice, but we try to talk to them. We try to bring them, stimulate them, talk to them, discuss with them, being present with them, put some music, try to make them happy. And if it continues like that, we just because they want to die doesn't mean that we have to stop giving everything. Every day, every meal time, we propose, we bring something. Maybe try to eat that. You can eat that. We should not force them. So if they say they have decided not to eat anymore, they will, our mind is very strong. Even if they are suffering from dementia, their mind still is very, very strong. If they want to die, they will go till the end. They will go to the they will go on refusing food until the day they can't even eat anymore. So that's what we let them, but we make sure that they're not suffering, they're not having breathing difficulties, they're not having pain, there's no discomfort. We make sure that they are comfortably lying down on the bed, make sure that the skins are well washed, and you do massage, so that their skin doesn't peel off, scars coming up. So we or some kind of redness, and the skin part, it goes away. So those things we call the scar. So it's usually common in the patients who are bedridden for a long time. So we try to avoid that, change the positions frequently, and we do like that. So when they have decided to leave, we respect their choice because they wanted it, and deep down their mind, they know that the people taking care of them, especially their families, are suffering for them. So they have decided to just reduce the family's workload by just going away from this world. So that's what I wanted to say for food. And make sure people who are not they who cannot concentrate, like I've said, if the food is white, make sure that the plates is not white. The plate can be a different color where they can see the food, but the best is the white plate and food, coloring food. It attracts their eyes, and once you see the beautiful colors of the food, it send a message to your brain. It stimulates the part where it controls the hunger. So, and the eyes see, they send a message, and then it looks something that is very good, and it started salivating, and they will take it and they will eat it. So it can stimulate that way too, or give them finger food. Anything that can be handled with hand while they are walking, or even if they are not walking, if they refuse to eat, from time to time, like for example every hour, once in 30 minutes, if they're not, if it's small, or every 10 minutes, you just give them, or sometimes what we do also, we put the plates, they can eat, but they don't have that they cannot sit down and eat. So what we do is, in a plastic plate, because it can fall down, we put the food items on it. So when they pass, they take it and they eat it, and they roam around, they pass, they come, they see the food, they take it, and they, especially the biscuits, the cake and the biscuits, they can do like that. Even the fruits, bananas, and some soft fruits, mangoes, it has to be cut, and some cookies, I think a bit softer one. So do like that. And even the drinks, you can put it just the place where he or she goes often, put it in their way, and they will take it and they will drink it. Sometimes it helps also. So I hope I'm helping you with my videos. So this is all for today about the food. I'll talk about next topic, next symptoms, and what we can do. And very soon I will also be talking about what activities we can give them, what we can propose them, so that they feel themselves useful, or they can stimulate their mind, their brain. We call it stimulating cognitive functions, their motricity, their hand, fingers, and the coordinations of their body, and social interacting connections, all those activities, what we can do, what we can propose them. So I will talk about that one by one. And also memory exercise, I will talk about that. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to spread this message about this disease. Of course, you can find it from other YouTube too, but everyone has got their own experiences. The people talks about maybe there might be some people who talks according to their professional experiences, like me. But me, whatever I'm talking, it's of course there's a little bit of theory part, but most of the thing that I'm talking is the thing that I do it every day, and that I have learned by myself for my professional careers, for my careers of 10, for my more than 10 years careers. It might be helpful because it's you know, practical thing that I do it every day, and we are still doing it, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still learning it, and I will talk about whatever new thing I've learned in the future. So keep stay connected, and spread about this channel to friends and relatives, or even to the people you come across and you know that they are suffering. Like I've said, no one is like I have said in my videos in my other channel, that no one is safe from anything in this world. You or I, anyone can have this disease. So I think we say prevention is better than cure. If you know this disease, about this disease in the future, if one of your families have this kind of disease, at least you know what to do. So maybe it's good thing to know something, to have a knowledge about this disease, so that you can handle it better, and you'll suffer less, especially. So thank you so much for watching, and see you very soon. Bye bye.